Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
And from the Orlando Science Center, we've got Spencer and Jeff.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing, guys?
Good, thanks.
So very good to see you guys. Always a pleasure having you come to the studio.
So it's engineering weekend this weekend, August 19th and 20th. Engineering is
Can I point
one
out
of
that
my
was the
favorite
most pumped up
sciences.
anybody's ever been for somebody saying, what, we were like, engineering weekend, and we were all like, yeah!
Tailgate. It's going to be awesome.
It's one of my favorite sciences.
It is.
Because it revolves around problem solving.
Yeah, buddy.
And then also like the science that involves chemicals, I don't understand it because it goes into like this water and this color water
Reactions.
and it doesn't interest me as much as then solving a problem with
I think I can nail you.
like
You like things that have practical applications, right?
Yeah.
And engineering, a lot of problem solving, and sometimes I'm obsessed with the most simple applications, right? The ones we never saw that somebody came up with, and they're like, with a flick of engineering genius, they create something so slightly just like literally.
I got something.
Yeah, please tell me.
Spencer, tell us about engineering first.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I like that you like engineering, but I also like it for a different reason as a science communicator. There's like two cheats when you're talking about science and trying to get people interested. One is space because it's really cool. And then the other is engineering because, like you said, everything is engineering. Like put your hands on something and do a puzzle. That's engineering. It's the same thought processes, right? So pretty much anything I throw out can be called engineering. And then also there's just like big old engineering firms that have a lot of money who want to help, spread the love of engineering. And so we have cool sponsors that help us do the cool programming. So, we have Lockheed and Finfrock for this one, and we have all kinds of really cool things happening. And it's from my perspective, it's so easy because I don't have to do anything, right? I just have like the engineering people do cool stuff,
right?
And I go, this is science.
Yeah. I will help them present their cool stuff.
Right.
Sure.
Well, speaking of that, like, what's involved with Engineering Weekend at the Science Center? Like, what can we expect?
Yeah. I mean, it's engineers doing engineering things, right? Like on Saturday, we have Lockheed bringing like actual tools that Lockheed engineers use to do Lockheed engineering, right? It's beyond anything that I can comprehend. I prefer the reactions and the chemistry, but they're gonna, walk you through the basics of like what all the tech is, how it works, what kind of thoughts you need to be able to put all into the actual tech to make it work. All kinds of really cool hands-on things. I know we have a rivet gun, we have a Martian egg drop or a lunar egg drop on different days. It's all kinds of really cool things happening.
That's awesome.
This is how you get your kids on the right path too, I feel like. Like engineering, it's not like
Well,
it's not like it's just a trend.
It's
not working out for anybody.
It has 20 years.
I mean, you might get them there and then spark something, and next thing you know, they become obsessed with it, and then you're like, yes.
Well, I truly believe it's the engineers that will save humanity. Like, like
sure,
they will solve the problems that we have created, and I started looking up.
Well, we have friends
news.
that are environmental engineers that come in here. We've had guests that come in here that are related to the Science Center that are environmental engineers, and that's what they do. They solve the problems that are wrecking our world.
So I started looking up some engineering news just to see what's what's going on, and
that's
I found
the nerdiest
something
thing you've ever done on a Thursday morning.
All right, so speaking of problem solving, okay. Sugar, right? It's a problem.
Well, my name is Dan.
And no. The problem being is that human beings crave and like sugar a lot.
We're talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this. I'm not drinking right now, and I'm going through, like, I dream of candy bars at night. And they're whatchamacallit? You remember whatchamacallit floating through my dreams?
And I'm about to get a lot of stuff wrong here, but the gist of it probably is right, and Spencer, you can tell me, is
good
that
enough truth, as Tom likes to call it.
This is
That
the portion of the show.
it.
Just look at Spencer, and you can tell by his rapid eye movement what is happening.
How wrong it is.
And so the problem being that human beings evolved to crave and find sugar in our environment because sugar.
Spencer, look down.
I'm on the hunt.
It's my thinking face.
It gave us energy to survive, and we constantly we want carbs because carbs were hard to find in ancient environments before we started farming everything, and so then it's like we crave carbs because carbs are energy.
Yeah.
And then
you don't have to tell me, man.
And then now in current day society, carbs are easy easy to find.
I'm turning
and then
into a Hershey Kiss. You don't need to tell me.
And so, but our brains still have, the evolution ingrained into us. It doesn't know that, hey, you gotta hold off on the carbs because you don't need to store this
You'll
much
have
fat.
that tomorrow as well.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah,
me.
I don't want to hold off on the carbs.
We're not running hours a day to find food
I don't
anymore.
want to
We're
hold
sitting
off on the
there.
carbs. Mayfield brand vanilla bean ice cream with dark chocolates, Hershey special dark chips on top, while you're playing the newest Madden game is amazing.
It's amazing.
The pinnacle of modern society.
Yeah, engineering,
it
really.
is. Yeah, that is a modern marvel.
So but it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's killing
So
me.
then
It's killing me.
engineers invented, the artificial sweeteners, right? So it mimicked the taste in our brains
Can't talk
of
about
sugar, but it doesn't give you the same can't even say it, calories that
Caloric.
Yeah,
big word.
It's
No,
hard to
say
say.
it.
Try it. Try it.
Well, all right.
Calories.
Try it. Spencer away.
That sugar does, and then but now we're finding out that artificial sweeteners, because you're ingesting them, may cause some problems. I read some study about dementia.
They're
and then
wrecking my gut. And if the dementia
gut,
thing, what did I just say?
So now I read about Sugarware. Have you heard about this?
Sugarware.
Yeah. So it's
Wait, is this software?
no. It's silverware that it's a spoon that, because of how it's engineered and the surface area, it has molecules layered on the spoon called ligands, I believe. Maybe pronounced differently. But it tricks your taste buds, your tongue, into thinking that it's sugar. Just from the molecules on the spoon, you're not ingesting
Well, it
anything.
can do both, right? It can do sweetness or saltiness. So
Yes.
It's not just for sugar.
Oh, you gotta buy me a magic spoon.
Yeah, right.
They also make chopsticks.
Yeah, and then the chopsticks have some sort of
I love sushi.
electrical thing.
Electrical
Yeah,
chopsticks.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Anyway,
We gotta get these for the science center.
by the way, I breeze past these.
Yeah.
But the gist of it, and we're talking about engineers, is we're solving problems, right? Now it's like, okay, now how can you trick your body into believing it's ingesting sugar, which we all love, but you're not ingesting anything, and you're just
Is it
touching your
solving
tongue.
a problem, or is it a Band-Aid?
Well, no, because it's solving the problem of we crave sugar, and then now we don't have to ingest artificial sweeteners. We're not ingesting anything; it's just touching our tongue.
Yeah.
And then because the problem being not eating anything sweet. Lessons our enjoyment in life.
Right. Yeah, it does.
And there's no evolving out of our brains us wanting sugar. That's going to take another 1,000,000 years or whatever the hell. So we got to trick. It is a Band-Aid, but it allows us to enjoy our lives without the repercussions.
I mean, a lot of engineering things are those like specific problems you're solving, right? And they really are just Band-Aids to humans, making our lives way too complex, right? If we were just still running 3 miles a day and eating blueberries, everything would be fine.
Oh, that's too hard.
But now we have so much going on. We have
time
to
for that,
invent
Spencer.
more things to fix all the problems that our brains have because of the things that we invented. But still, that is why engineering is a cheat, because like you can find literally anything sugar, which I had no idea where you brought up sugar, and I'm like, how could this go to engineering? And you got there, right? But that's the cheat.
That's
it's
what
like,
we do every day.
Mom and Dad like sugar. I
Yeah.
can get engineering in there. Don't you worry. Spencer likes space. There's plenty of engineering in space. Literally anything you can find some engineering problem solving. And so, from my perspective, it's cheating. It's
Do you have to
cheating.
have 2 spoons, or is there a button on the spoon? Just like, you're just like the turtle and the rabbit on
It's
a lawnmower.
either side of the spoon. It's like a double-sided spoon.
Yeah. I want like
Yeah,
one
salt
side
or
to be,
sweet.
I want it to have a slide that one side is a potato chip.
Mm.
And then I don't know what the other side would. Probably a cookie with a bite, and then some crumbs.
Yeah. So another thing. Oh, I got a question for you, Spencer.
Yeah.
So, and this involves engineering and capitalism.
Perfect.
So
Okay,
it's
my
get
2
real
favorite
deep
things.
here. So do you think that engineering is sometimes stifled by capitalism because engineers will come up with a problem? For instance, I know this is like an urban legend of like the tire that will never, wear bald or whatever.
Yeah,
like
the
a
invincible
rubber,
tire.
And then when an engineer comes up with a problem,
My
like,
dad,
hey,
I think, died thinking that the invincible tire was being held from us
Right.
just because of greedy Goodyear. Like, I think he really believed that.
by the way, I
A
saw.
lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, it may be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I think my dad honestly believed that. He was like, because every time we go to the tire store, oh my God, the names and things I hear.
By the way,
it was just terrible.
I saw a story the other day where we, obviously we had so many tires, and this is before we figured out how to recycle them, but they came up with the idea to dump them in the ocean to create artificial reefs.
Yeah.
And they're like, this will solve the problem. Like, we could create reefs.
We're engineering the reefs.
So they bound the tires with like metal straps with that rusted immediately.
Yeah.
And then it created an environmental nightmare because the tires
it was a disaster.
just spread all across the ocean with the
like,
tides.
Oh, it rusted. Now it's trash.
And they're like, you idiots. You didn't have enough engineers working on this. Anyway, so back to capitalism and engineering. So
and the impossible tire or the unkillable tire.
But yeah, engineering solves a problem, but there's so much business behind this, tires or any other, that you could equate this to a lot of other things that like these businesses are like, we'll buy that patent and just bury it because this will ruin our business.
Right.
And then it could have hundreds of or billions of dollars of detriment to this tire business. Do you think that happens, Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, the whole point is that engineering probably wouldn't happen without those companies that are making those things happen anyway, because someone needs to fund all the stuff and do all the thinking and put the hands on the stuff and make the time to make the thing, right?
You need money.
You need money and resources. And so if the thing with capitalism is like it creates the money and resources and then a bunch of caveats. And so, yeah, the caveats exist for engineering as well. And in some utopia where capitalism is a bit differently structured, maybe we can avoid those things, but it might also just be an inevitability. Maybe because, are we going to go to space with just government funding? We've talked about that on this program before, right?
Yeah.
No, we have to use engineers and third parties to get there, and that's all just part of capitalism. That's just how we build stuff.
Yeah,
that's what we got right now.
And then you need there to be some financial benefit if a company's paying for it because they want to make money.
Right. Why else would they do it? Right.
Like I had heard that like there's asteroids that have like more gold than a million Earths on them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's elements in space that are abundant.
That's a Gatlin Boys song too. All the gold.
If you could figure out how to mine asteroids in space, like gold would be free essentially.
There's so many video games where you're just a guy riding around in space mining gold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we've known of this for so long, and we want to get to it, but we haven't figured it out, have we?
Right.
Let's talk aliens, Spencer.
Classic example.
Okay, we got him here, and I've been yelling about this because all of my friends are like, "Oh yeah, they're here. The aliens are here. The government admitted it. There are aliens running around." I don't think that's what was said.
Well, before we
the
get
government
into
did
this,
not admit it. But there was some hearings in front of.
The government listened to a crazy person.
That's what it looked like to me. It's like they got a dumb old man up there, and he's like, because now the dumb old man was like,
I don't know.
He was like,
It was more than one guy.
Yeah,
prepare yourself. Well, they like to get together. That's how they spread their jokes. Dumb old men for decades have been getting together and just sharing misinformation, right?
Real quick, I want to promote Science Night Live, August 26th. It's your opportunity, adults only, to go to the Science Center, enjoy some adult beverages.
Great date night.
Wander around the Science Center, see all the great exhibits and everything the Science Center has to offer, but in a setting of a bunch of adults having some booze.
It's engineering themed too, so it's great.
It's definitely something you've never done before, so check it out. Go there and give it a whirl. I think you'll dig it.
Yeah. What are you gonna go to dinner with your wife and just look at yourself on the
whole
whole time?
Yeah. You want to go to 2J's and say on your phone? You can go to 2J's and sit there on your phone the whole time in a loveless marriage.
That's why people are going to other places besides the Science Center.
I know.
That's wild.
I can't believe it. Why
what
would
are
you
they
do that?
doing?
Nothing against 2J's. It's a great deli, but I'm just saying.
And
that's SNL.
And Jeff, where can people get tickets for Science Night Live?
Yeah, you can get tickets to Science Night Live at osc.org/SNL. It's a great event coming up next weekend, August 26th. It's supported by Verizon. They're going to have some cool folks there talking about how they're using technology to change the world. Going to have some cool engineering activities, some great films playing. It's going to be a really good time. But yeah, osc.org/SNL. Get your tickets now because it could sell out.
Yes.
And often does, yeah.
Air
Yeah, I
conditioning?
think the last time when I went, I think it was sold out.
Is air conditioning there?
There sure is. It's really good air conditioning, too.
Yeah,
It makes you
it's
feel
crisp.
good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So
from
Spencer,
farm to table.
Tastes like sugar. It's amazing
it
air
is. It's
It's
just
just
conditioning.
the
engineering
molecules,
marvel.
though. Just the molecules.
So I want to talk about the alien paradox that I have in my mind.
So not like the typical alien paradoxes, but your Tom's paradox.
And this is probably on the internet. For sure I didn't come up with it.
Don't
but,
say that. Just go with it until we tell you you're wrong.
So this is my problem with aliens and why I believe.
Wait a minute. Which kind? Or what are we talking about here? He's going on a rant.
I'll just tell you why I believe that it is extremely unlikely that there are aliens and the government knows that there are
thank
aliens.
God he's
that
here.
we're holding
Thank God
it.
our yard guy's here to run the blower.
And that any other intelligent species has ever come to Earth, right?
Right.
So this is my theory.
Okay.
Hold on, the chat room likes to watch Spencer while you're talking, so I want to put the camera right on him.
Can you go closer? Can I get
Yeah.
So,
all Spencer.
Right.
Based on what I know,
What do you know?
not much, Sam. But and Spencer can confirm this. And we got the leaf.
Or deny. Or deny.
You have no idea how much I paid this guy to do this during your soliloquy.
Right.
It is that the Earth doesn't have anything unique to the universe
To offer?
except for life, which we haven't found yet. But that doesn't mean that it's not out there.
We're the
right?
resource?
Well, I mean, we don't have any unique element or anything in particularly special here at Earth that is not abundant.
According to humans, though, right?
You
don't know what the aliens might. They
might-
might not want anything, but they might want something that's really common here that we see no value in, but they do.
They might want my body.
No, but
maybe,
what I'm
Because
saying,
I'm an attractive guy.
there's nothing the Earth offers that is not abundant in the universe and other planets that
They
we
want
know
us.
of.
We're the fuel. Oh my God, you're terrifying.
every single-
We're the fuel for their ships.
Every single element that
Water?
we have on Earth.
They got water. They can create
there's so
water.
much
There's
water.
Yeah,
there's
water
sun's
everywhere.
worth of water out in every
Don't
single
you talk about my son.
So Spencer, every single element that we know of Earth was created in explosions of stars, correct?
Also, you could if you can get here, you can probably just make the elements, right?
That's what I was
what are we
thinking.
trying to? Why are you trying to come to Earth to get water? Just make the water, or go to probably one of your 7 moons that also has water, or go to one of our 7 moons that have water.
But what if they just
there's
want
a-
to? Now, I've thought about this, and this is why I tell people, and they're like, nah, but what if they're like us? Because, look at the internet, right? It's a dumpster fire. You go on social media and you look at it, and it's just people arguing. What if these aliens, the only thing they're like us is they just like to mess with things, and they're let's just go down there and just start chopping them up, shooting them, burning their houses down. You know what? Here's a theory for you. It's too soon, but what if the aliens are like, okay, yeah, we're coming here. There's islands that they love so much, they're crazy tourist islands. Let's shoot a laser down there and burn them up good. How about that?
Spencer, here's the
I
paradox.
can get real crazy on you.
Is the only thing that I could possibly think of that it's rare that we have is life itself, an intelligent life or
Write that down.
semi-intelligent.
Write that down.
And if aliens were to come here, it means that our life isn't that rare.
They didn't say aliens. They said non-human biologistics.
Well, it means that
Biologistics.
intelligent life isn't that rare if
They didn't say intelligent either.
they'd have to be intelligent to get here. That's what I'm saying. So if they existed, they wouldn't come here. Because it means that intelligent life exists probably everywhere if they exist.
Okay.
So therefore, it would render Earth useless to anybody because there's nothing here that's special at all.
All right.
And if
I'm
they
gonna tell that to your boys.
every element is abundant in the universe, and if intelligent life exists, they wouldn't come here.
This is your alien.
Because the only reason to come here would to see less intelligent life.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So what do you think of Tom's paradox?
It's a decent paradox. I don't know that them being here implies there are a bunch of intelligent life out there, right? Though, because it could just be, what if there's the 2 of us? What if they see one other intelligent planet and they're like, what the heck? We got to go look at this and study it, because that would be super weird. And you would assume that they would do it without wanting to talk to us because they could do it from farther away, but you would also assume they'd do it better, right? How are random people in Arizona finding spaceships? That doesn't seem possible because
you traveled 10 million light years and you
they
crashed
should be invisible.
in Arizona.
They can change their trajectory on a dime and violate all concept of physics.
So why would they crash?
Why would we ever see them if they don't want to be seen?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think, but I don't know. I like people getting a hold of it and getting wild.
It would be awesome. That would be very exciting.
Also, guess what? You'd send a robot first, just like we
Well,
did.
yeah, for sure, right?
So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And you know, anyway, the paradox to me is that with no way would we be able to even know that they existed if they were that smart to even get here. Based on, we do know that there's nothing close to us, and it would take such extreme technology to get to us that I would have to assume that extreme technology would render them invisible to us, or at least they wouldn't be crashing in the desert just for some hillbilly to find.
Right, because like the thing is, our physics is so cut and dry. Like it is that there's something about aliens, right? Because interstellar travel is just literally impossible. Like it just is. Like with our full foundational knowledge of physics, the smartest man ever alive in Einstein, like it's impossible. So the concept is that something has figured out how to break that impossibility, and now it just means that they're so beyond us that it's not even worth talking about almost, right? It's just like
we're ants to them,
right.
essentially.
Because they broke our understanding of physics. We
Yeah.
can't go that far.
Yeah.
So how? So it's
That gives me relief,
your
though.
brain,
When I
yeah.
think about that, though,
well, it's an
it kind of just chills me out. I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
it's nice, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
well, there's nothing I can do about it.
It's like I
who
feel
cares
like-
if we have nuclear warheads or whatever, Independence
Yeah.
Day. That's all. None of that's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
Nothing matters because you guys are too.
Right.
I like that, Spencer.
All right. So again, it's engineering weekend
Yes,
at
sir.
the Science Center Saturday and Sunday, and also get your tickets for Science Night Live August 26th. Spencer, Jeff, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Oh, it's
you.
good seeing you guys.
And we need to have a longer conversation about aliens, Spencer.
We have Sci-Fi Month in November. So
Okay, all right,
hopefully
perfect.
there will be another hearing before then about aliens, and then we can reference that. You know.
All right, perfect.
I'm gonna dress like an alien.
Ooh, can I do that too? We can do that.
Also, when you said, "What if it's just the two of us out there?" When you're talking about us and aliens, I thought about like you and I for Halloween. Are we still doing Austin Powers? You're gonna be Dr. Evil, and I'm gonna be the little one. But we're gonna do
Well,
just
don't
the
say
two
that.
of us, where I tie the headband around my head and we look like rappers.
oh yeah.
Remember when they did the Jaws?
Yeah,
We'll do that.
Oh yeah, I like the knot in the front.
Yeah, you
All
gotta
right.
put the knot in the front.
We will be right back. Sorry, we didn't have enough time.
you guys.
We didn't have that much time because
you're
we
good.
only had one
Appreciate you.
segment for Friday, and we wanted to put it in before.
No worries. Thank you.
Sam?
Friday one.
Friday one. Thank you. Thank you guys. That was fun.
Always is. Thank you.
Anytime, y'all.
Yeah, we should. And next time I'll get a bunch of different stories and stuff, and I'll send them to you.
I want that spoon.
I mean, I kind of like not knowing what you're gonna talk about
Okay,
too. It's fun
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Both are good, you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Aliens, I got because obviously everyone's paying attention to aliens.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna look up this thing.
Have a great rest of your day,
Yeah, it's
y'all.
good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you too, man. Have a great weekend.
Yes,
Stumbled
you
upon
too.
that, and then I was like,
It's something.
yeah.
It's just the same people though. The problem is everybody got so excited like 2 weeks ago or whatever because of the hearings. It's the same people saying the same things for years though. So it's not new information.
It was
It's
just
they said
said-
it in a new place.
It was said
Yeah,
before Congress,
But-
under oath,
Right.
which is a big deal.
Yeah. It means they're not lying, but they could also be.
I mean,
They
they could be
don't
lying,
think-
but
they don't
yes.
think they're lying.
Right, right. If you don't think you're lying, you're not lying.
Yeah. You
Thank
could
you,
be
Sam.
not.
Of course, good seeing you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You telling your truth.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean the truth. A lot of people have the wrong truth.
Thank you very much.
I got like mega hungry all of a sudden.
Because we were talking about sugar.
Yeah. I am ruled by sugar, dude. I got to get that out of my life.
So what do we want to do now?
Your
Monday?
brain wants it, so it's.
But I got to figure out a way I got to work harder on it. I probably got to, honestly, this has got to go. Because it's just, I got to get rid of
the artificial.
I got to get rid of all of it. The regular, the artificial, all of it.
But it's almost. I mean, I guess by getting rid of it long enough, you will eventually stop craving it as much. It's like the people that learn how to starve themselves. They say the hunger pains go away in like 3 days.
Right.
Because your brain stops sending the signal that you're hungry because
Right.
it realizes like, oh, I'm not getting food. So
Right.
Well,
At some point, it becomes a waste of energy, to even send the signal.
Yeah. Well, you realize like I'm going into starvation
Right.
mode, and then your body will adapt to starvation, and then you will not be as uncomfortable. But you got to get past just like being addicted to anything. It's the first like 3 days.
I only drink like Mountain Dew and water. I go, it's extremes. I do worst and best. Like, I'll go home, and for the rest of the evening, I'll drink like 10 giant cups or waters.
It sucks because our bodies want sugar, salt, fat. Because those are the hardest things to get when we evolved. And then, so that's all we fucking want.
What are we doing
things that
here?
are worse for us.
Sorry.
Just Monday 3 and 4.
Monday 3
and
and 4?
We'll do voicemails and emails.
Okay, great. I'll get those up. Sam has emails.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Would you like to begin?
Yep.
God, sorry. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemails and emails.
Yeah, man. We neglect all of these, and I don't know why. Like, we try to go through. It's like
We
something.
get a lot of guests. We have, Tom's got his theories he wants to talk about.
Your
Oh,
theories.
yeah,
Can I
yeah.
give you a compliment? I've been very much enjoying your theories lately. You have been wilder than ever with your theories.
What they what?
I can't. The ones that we talk about in the office. Some of your like more crazier ones. You know.
No.
About like who's had augmentation and stuff. Yeah, it's just I very much enjoy that. I appreciate you sharing some of your wilder, scenarios.
In my life, outside of the show, no one wants to hear my theories.
So you have to do them.
So I have to do
This
them
is
here.
like going to the potty.
Oh,
This is
God.
like going to the toilet.
But if no one wants to hear them in real life, I should assume our listeners don't want to hear them either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all human beings.
Right.
We're
But
all here to get
I have
out
to get them
Equal
out.
time. I feel
I
like
need
we
someone
Go to
listen.
therapy, man. Pay for it.
No.
Would you're not. That's not your lane, right?
Well,
Never?
because
Well, he's cheap.
I'm, I want someone to want to hear them. If
I want you to want me.
It's like a sex worker. I need them to pretend they like it.
See, I thought you liked them when they got sad. I like it when they look away.
I think he's changed his
That's-
ways.
I like it when they look away.
Yeah. I can't. I think that was a young man's game.
The look of disgust. Yeah, it was a young man. Now that you're an old man,
Now,
you're a little
I'm
more
like,
positive.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, show some enthusiasm.
Come on, put some effort into it. All right, let's start with good God. Let's start with an email. If you'd like to send us an email, super easy to do. show@tomanddan.com. What do you got, Sam?
Okay. This has been a hot topic in the past week or so. It says Sam's OnlyFans.
Oh, no.
I'm listening to the BDM show this week, and I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring and say that I would subscribe to that day one, no matter the price. I'm all about that.
Well,
Sam
hold
is
on.
super
No matter
cute.
the price.
Yeah, see, people throw out these things, and I do not believe
Hold
them.
his feet to the fire.
I do
Hold his
not
feet to
believe
the
them.
fire. Email him back and say, okay, no matter the price, man. I have a picture of my breasts in my phone right now, loaded, cocked and loaded and ready to roll.
Send me
$10,000.
$10,000, $10K.
And I will fire this over to you immediately, Mr. Name Your Price. That's what I would do.
See,
Start calling him on it.
that's the problem.
Or is this some sort of a scam?
Another problem being that people want to see what they've never seen so badly until they see it. And then once they see it, like, then I feel like that hurdle, you've already reached
You don't
what
want
you
more
wanted.
of it?
You do want more, but then it falls off, I think. When you
Right.
get
And that's
enough.
why
I'm
another
gonna-
reason why I don't want to do it, because people will sign. Well, a handful of people will sign up.
Yes.
And pay what you guys suggested, $20 a month.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
sign up for
I
the
think you
first
gotta go
month. They'll
higher.
save the photos. They'll share them in all the groups and on the Reddit pages, and then it'll be done. And then they'll sign off, and nobody. I'll make money for 1 month, and it'll be like $200.
Or you got to keep
No,
going
but-
more and more extreme.
Yeah, well, that's the,
I figured. I
That's-
remember I told you that if I were to do this to even try and compete with you, I would have to go super extreme.
well, that's
Super extreme.
That
Like
is-
shave my
Everybody
head.
would share their logins just like they do the BDM
Yeah.
shows.
Oil myself up. I'd be shaving everything. I'd be doing some really, really horrible things.
I need a pay pig.
See, that was the problem in the porn industry, or not even the problem, but I guess the stereotype in the porn industry that when an adult actress or actor would get into the industry, they'd start off mild, and then it would progressively get more and more extreme, right?
Right.
You start off with like just nude pictures, and then the the capitalism of it. It was like, oh, we need something else.
Yeah,
and people
give us
want
more,
other-
give us
and
more.
Then you're like, I'll do this and this, and then all of a sudden
Next thing you know, double. Right? It always goes there.
And then but then once you get there,
Yeah, you
then
can't.
there's no more.
No, then you got to start doing the stuff that I've told you about. Like I get you
But
start
then you
puking into a blender, then
No,
you got to
no.
blend
No,
it,
no,
then
no,
you
I
got
want
to drink
that.
the
No, come on.
puke.
We can't even say that.
Yeah, you can. I think you can.
So
I think it's fine.
Should
People
I
do
write
it.
that down to cut
You
out?
might want to beep that. But like they
No,
that's
that's fine.
That's what people do. I'm being clinical. That is what people do, and people subscribe to because they're like, oh, did you see her? She did the thing. There's a girl that just presses her face into bread.
Now,
$20 a month, people are subscribing for this.
the $10 or $20 a month though falls into a category of money that $10 isn't anything anymore. Like
Right.
like you go.
Can't even get a hot dog for that much.
God, I'm a dumb old man because when he says that, it rattles my bones. When
It
you
isn't.
say $10 a month, I'm like, my God, that's a lot.
But it's nothing.
I'm a
I
dumb
mean,
old man.
well, like
it is. You're right. You're right.
Try going and just living your normal life without spending.
You're right.
Damn near $100 a day.
You're
just
right.
To live.
I should be more. Honestly, we give the highest quality podcasting content you can get for $3 a month. Like seriously,
it's like it's so.
we are way. It's too cheap.
So for $10 a month, people may not even care to stop subscribing, and then if that happens, then you've got a long-term business model.
That did not plan out for my Patreon. People noticed, and they paid a lot less than $10 a month.
Yeah.
But you were trying to be cool. See, we always get F'd for being cool. We get F for being cool. You're getting F for being cool. You open it up. You give those free shows. You heard about this one. You got these things in there, and then people can pay. You don't even have tiers, right?
Yeah,
because you were trying to be nice.
Well, that goes into all subscription fade, which is happening across the board
It
with
is.
everything. There's too many subscriptions.
I mean, I've
and then,
canceled subscriptions of stuff that I just don't really use it anymore.
So the battle being keeping your audience engaged, and that's hard, and that's a grind, and then it goes back into like Sam not having time for the OnlyFans grind that she knows it will be to run that business. And it's the worst part about it is the amount of money you'll make is an unknown.
Right.
So,
You're right. That's the scary part, right?
So,
for most people that even think that they get because there's nothing wrong with it. We all know that, right? But there is a scary part in thinking, well, I don't want to do this and not get whatever X amount of dollars in my brain I've
You
told
need a
myself
guarantee.
that yes, I need to be able
Not
to
only
get,
would it be a wallet stinger, but that would be a self-esteem stinger. If you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't make any
Absolutely.
money.
I think we're talking
Everybody said they wanted to see the teas.
This is the thing we need to talk about. That emotional aspect of it and doing it. You would have to almost be a Tom to do it. I couldn't handle it. I'm too weak. I'd get in there and then it wouldn't be the bomb I wanted. I'm doing all this crazy, over-the-top crazy stuff, and people are like, this sucks, and I take an ego stinger.
Oh, well, that would give me an ego. I mean, I'm not
Well, you could, but you
dead
won't look
robot.
at it. But you're not going to go ahead and look
No,
at it.
look
You're
at
not
the
gonna
money.
fight with the
The
people
money
and be
will
like-
tell me.
You're not
what
gonna,
if the money's low?
but you're not going to fight with them and be like, I'm an artist, and you should appreciate this.
No,
You know,
no. Well,
That's what I would do.
No,
I'd be
but-
like, you should love my vomit videos.
No, but the market tells me how much people want it, and then if the market,
No, I know.
and so
But I don't live in reality. That's what I'm telling you.
No, but I would get, my feelings hurt, I guess you would say, if I was like, I was dead
This is
set.
a big moment on the show.
No, but like if I was like, I was convinced that by me, just taking some shirtless pics on OnlyFans that I could make X amount of money, and then I started and
Yeah,
do
if
it.
there was a guarantee, I would have already done it.
Yeah,
but there's not.
Yeah, and that's you know what? It would be interesting.
Like a
if-
signing bonus.
Oh no. Okay, what about this? OnlyFans
Right?
should do this. Is that you similar to like a does a GoFundMe have a goal you have to reach for it to even work? What's the one that has a goal?
Yeah, I think GoFundMe was the one that if you don't get to the goal, then you don't get any money, right?
Like OnlyFans should have
One of
like
them is like that,
so you take pictures, right, and then you put them up, but they're blurred out, and then you're like,
yeah, that would be that's a good model.
if
Do
I
it.
hit this,
Hold on a second. We should be talking about that. She could set up a GoFundMe for this.
Well,
GoFundMe for you guys to see my boobies.
GoFundTee.
GoFundTees.
you could
GoFundTees? Not bad.
through other subscription services.
Yeah, there's
you
something
could
out there
do
that
your
you-
own
yeah.
GoFundMe, I guess technically, or not, or like do your own subscription service, technically, and not have to go through OnlyFans. If it was a closed circuit,
And then
thing,
only
yeah.
when you reach the designated amount
then the
are
photos
the
get,
photos
yeah,
unlocked.
yeah.
That's not bad.
Now,
That's gotta be
it
out
doesn't,
there,
It
right?
doesn't guarantee the people are gonna subscribe long term, but at least you'll hit an initial goal,
Right.
Before,
to make it worth
yeah,
your
yeah,
while.
yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to be, I mean, see, even the fact that we're talking about this means that no matter what, after the fact, you're going to hate yourself for doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're the type of people that do this.
No, but you know what? I've started to look at things, and this has helped me.
Half full? Are you optimistic?
No, do things that I normally maybe would say, it's this is too much of a pain in the ass.
You
too
pretend
much
you're the
work, right?
sheik.
No. Where I'll look at something and I'll be like, okay, maybe we could do this business venture or whatever, this thing.
Okay.
And but then I look at the amount of work. It's like it's a lot of work for because we get paid what we get paid or whatever. But if I look at it like if I attribute the work to something, for instance, if I like, all right, we're gonna do 3 months of hard ass work, but the benefit is we'll take that money or I'll take the money and go on a vacation. To a destination I want to, then I attribute the work to this particular goal of the vacation, and then it makes me motivated to do it, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Like, the actual money isn't a motivator as much as the thing that I really want to do, because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, I do.
Like, I really just, it's like the prize is better for me for motivation than just an arbitrary money amount, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I feel like
If it's $5,000 and I know we can go on a family vacation to Costa Rica for that, then I'll be like, well, I'm doing this a bunch of hard work for Costa Rica.
Right.
Because
for the experience.
Because the $5,000 isn't motivating me as much as the Costa Rica trip.
So are you saying that Sam would have to like almost in her mind go, okay, I'm doing this
money
for,
is
and I don't know where you you said some trips you want to go to, like what's your bucket list big one? What's the top dog trip?
Probably right now Europe. We're
Okay,
talking
so
about
if you
Europe.
wanted to
Like
do
an
like
awesome
a month in
Just 'cause
Europe,
I haven't
Yeah,
gone.
like a big one, like a 2
like
weeks,
a
3 weeks.
$20,000
Yeah.
European
Yeah,
mega
yeah.
trip. You hit on all the stuff, and then you're like, okay,
So you do
I'm
it
doing
for
this
the goal.
for the goal, not necessarily. Because
Yeah.
sometimes the money, it just goes into normal life stuff, and then I said this before with like the analogy of cutting off my leg, and then I thought about like $4 million.
All of our analogies are bat-ass crazy, by the
Well,
way.
$4 million for cutting up, but this was a real scenario in my life where it was a joke. But it was like $4 million. Would you cut your leg off for $4 million underneath your knee? And initially, a lot of people will say yes. But I really started thinking about it, and I was thinking 20 years down the road, right? So I'm like, all right, $4 million would change my life. I'd change anybody's life, obviously. Not anybody, but anybody listening to this. But 20 years down the road, I will still have one leg, and I probably all that money will be, spent essentially into my life.
You will have flattened it out a little bit
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Well,
I mean, you're not going to be like you're not
even
going to
if
be
you're-
looking at it like a brand new pile of money.
Yeah, so then
Right.
it just gets absorbed into life, and you may have had a great 20 years, but it's gone, and then it's like eventually the wonder of the millions would wear off, and then you're left without the leg. So it's like the money does get absorbed.
Now you can get a
and
cool
spent.
robot leg.
You could get a cool robot leg.
Yeah, but it's not the same. And then I
have
think
to
it'll
stop
eat at
Nothing's
you.
the same. Guess what? When you get old, your legs are going to be terrible anyway.
that
Get
true?
the robot
I'm
leg.
47 and I got terrible
You'd
legs.
kill for robot
oh
legs,
my
right?
God, Sam, are you crazy? I do OnlyFans to buy my
Same.
robot leg.
Yeah,
But nobody wants to see it. That's the conundrum with my OnlyFans. I show it to everybody
I
and everybody
disagree.
like
There's
chop my
kinks
legs off.
for that.
I don't
For
think
short kings.
short. Okay, I am a short king.
But the
tighten up a
Tom's
little
too vanilla.
I'm a little sloppy.
Yeah,
I got to tighten up a little bit.
also
My
there's
daughter's been
you
bullying
gotta
me.
do something real weird, Tom.
My
for
doll-
people
my-
to
my
tune
doll-
into your
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah.
My daughter
I know.
has been fat shaming me in the house, slapping my belly and talking about how my ass has got zits on it.
Well, she's an athlete.
Yeah,
so-
she bullies me. She pushes me down.
Anyway, sorry. Next.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Got off on a daydreaming trip.
This is goes along the lines with your sugar thing here. Tea/Diet Coke alternative. Tom, I am also addicted to Diet Coke, so I feel your pain, just like you, Tom.
Okay.
Just like you.
I just cursed. My
Come on,
God,
man.
why am I doing that? I'll edit that one. That's me. That's all me.
Let's,
I'm not letting you
write
do that
one
I'm
down.
relaxed today.
So it says, I feel your pain. Try brewing your own unsweet tea, but do 4-to-1 Lipton iced tea bags and throat coat. Brew it for 5 minutes, no longer, and drink it iced. The throat coat has slippery elm, which will help with your phlegm, and the Lipton will help by drying things out. Also, it tastes effing delicious. Good luck.
I do not like
That's
the
too much work for
flavor.
Tom.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, as an old school throat coater, I am not a fan.
I like throat coat.
Man, I don't like the taste of it. I think I've consumed so much of it over the years of singing and broadcasting that I'm the taste. You guys ever get to the point where just something you just like, I can't do this anymore? I'm over it.
Yeah, I get sick of stuff. Tom
Yeah.
doesn't, though.
Throat coat
He's
to
the
me.
same. He'll eat the same thing every day.
Yeah, did you notice that when
Although
I said
he
that?
did love that hot dog yesterday in Sanford.
When you took
Of
that
course.
bite, your eyes lit up like you a Christmas.
It was like,
a
oh
child
my
on-
God, he
Oh,
came to
delicious.
life.
Like a
Yeah,
child
I'm
on
a
Christmas
human
Day.
being. Like, I want it.
We question that sometimes.
It just I do have the ability to just eat the same thing.
It's
every
pretty
day.
cool that you can do that.
But it's the fact that I'm not getting joy out of it.
Right.
And that you talk to anybody who eats the same thing every day. And
I
then
wonder
they're
if you'd be a happier person if you ate what you wanted to eat.
Of course I would.
Well, can you do that? Because you're too grumpy. You're too
very,
grumpy.
You are very grumpy.
Well,
We've
what
been
I-
talking about bringing back Fat Fun Tom.
Yeah.
FFT.
That picture of me and you at the radio station, I think we were going on to talk about Orlando City or something, and you and I are both in our jolly fat stage. But you were beating me at this point for some reason.
Well, I think that's a
And you had a beard. You had a
misconception that I'd be happier. Happier is a mentality I think you could hack by. You could
Yeah, no, I agrry with that, but
hack in your brain. So because I wasn't happy with
yourself.
I high blood pressure and I was
Does
like,
high blood pressure make you in a happier state? Like,
No.
Does it fog your brain? Or-
and I was like, I had definitely high cholesterol, and I was having, it was hard to
breathe.
Yeah.
do a lot more things. Anyway, so I really do. My next goal
Okay.
and mission is to
Well,
try
you're-
to hack my happiness with the whole
the shrooms.
No, well,
We need
shrooms, yes.
I need shrooms.
I'm gonna start microdosing. I'm gonna start doing the gratitude every morning. I just
The
like,
journal
Really?
works, man. The journal
This
works.
is surprising.
I do a gratitude journal every night, and I got to tell you,
I
it
can't
works.
write anything.
It
but
works.
I'm gonna do it while I need to wake up in the morning and just do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it
I'm gonna
doesn't take
start.
long.
I started waking up in the mornings to work out this week. It's been rough.
Yeah,
At
how's
the-
that going?
I mean, I'm doing it. I don't
Yeah.
like it, but
What
it's
time?
better than I get up at like 6.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I hate
good.
it, but I'm doing it.
I've
Yeah,
been-
well, I'm proud of you, man. That's like the hardest thing to do.
but I'm,
Easier to get it over with in the morning and take a shower and then be like, all right, I did it.
Yeah,
And then you don't have to think about it
Yeah.
you don't have to dread it the rest of the day.
it's the reason I eat my French green beans first. I just
yeah.
cram them in my
yeah.
mouth and
on
swallow
a plate,
them.
eat
Yeah,
whatever you don't like
fast.
first. Yeah.
I just get it. Give me them green beans.
with the gratitude thing is super hard for me because my initial thought is stupid. But at least I know that our brains are dumb and easy to trick.
Sure.
And so
If you go into it with that,
and so I'm
of course this is stupid.
I'm like, I could trick my dumb brain if I
Yeah.
5 minutes every morning. I just go through. 5 minutes is a long time. It go through a list of
Yeah.
things like grateful for this, hit this,
Yeah,
and then just start thinking.
Go through your day and think of all the things.
Thinking all the little things, and then if I do that every day, I think I could trick my brain into starting
You
off.
will.
and then the meditation thing is another thing.
No,
that I
that's what
think
you're
stupid.
doing, though. Don't even label it.
No, yeah,
the
no.
5 minutes of you just taking 5 minutes for you to go through your day, that's yours, that's your time, you're in the present.
I think is why religion has lasted for so long, just because the prayer is a version of, like, praying every night is a version of that. And I think that people have been doing that, and they're like, this makes me feel better, but they're doing the gratitude. They're just tricking themselves mentally.
Have you seen Rainn Wilson on a lot of, like, he's been making the rounds doing a media tour right now. And
Dwight Schrute?
Yeah, Dwight Schrute. Dwight Schrute. He is real big into, he practices a form of Asian, it's an Asian practice, an Asian religion, I think, of some sort. I could be horribly wrong on that. I just want to be respectful. But he is kind of, he just wrote a book, and he's real big on that. He thinks that America needs a spiritual awakening.
Oh.
And that doesn't necessarily mean religion, but it's not a bad thing to organize your own thoughts in a way that's beneficial, or hack your brain in a way that's beneficial to your own happiness and your own lack of, like me. I'm
That's
trying
why
to
therapy works.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this EMDR therapy to not be holding on to grudges that I have, and not be so petty, and to get over, and also to be able to vocalize it and normalize the fact that, yes, my mom and dad are both dead, and I got to be okay with that, because there's a lot of life left, and I got a family. So get your head out of your ass, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm doing right now, and that's cool, dude. I think that's dope that you're doing that.
I'm not doing anything. I want.
Don't
to
say
do
that.
It. No,
Just do it. Just do it.
Well, I'm not going to tell people I'm doing anything, because I'm not. But I'd like to, and that's a goal.
Yeah,
because
that's great.
I think there's real science behind all that stuff.
Seth does it. I mean, what do you think all those routines and stuff he does in the dojo? I mean, all of that is him. It's meditation. All of that is a form of meditation where he is standing there and he is in his karate world, calming his
I wouldn't
anxiety
say he's
down.
exactly mentally healthy.
He's
though.
not. He's not. But if you look at him in the
He'd
gym,
be a lot worse though. If he
right?
didn't
Where
do all
is
that.
he? But where is he at his best? When we went to the dojo and saw him, big smile. That's his place. It's like the lawnmower man. If he could live in his dojo all the time, he's stress-free in there.
I can't. Well, it's going on in his head. He's stress crazy.
Well, he will. Well, he's got the baby coming.
The thing I want to mess with Seth about, which I won't, because I feel bad bullying him about this, but he's all about mental discipline, and throughout his whole life, like, you know, with his diet and exercise and everything else,
To a T.
He prides himself in having insane discipline, and he does. But it doesn't translate when it comes to his hypochondria, and because that's
all
all
doesn't
mental.
translate to babies. He doesn't understand that yet. That babies throw everything at you at any time.
But I'm like, why can't you have the mental discipline to know that when you think you have cancer, that you don't, and to get it out of your head? Mm-hmm. And you can't fight the hypochondria with your mental discipline.
I have bladder cancer right now. You're talking to the right guy. I have convinced myself that I have bladder cancer right now.
But why doesn't the discipline translate to that?
I don't know.
It's like, you know how hard it is to eat the same bird seed every day, or work out twice a day, or whatever.
Or to stop drinking, or to not.
And for the rest of us, it's easy for us to, like.
There's some deep-rooted situation in his brain about that. And that's something he's got to figure out.
Yeah, it's some sort of anxiety, a chemical imbalance. Yeah.
It's probably real dark in there.
But the fact that he can't get through the mental discipline of that, it makes him weaker.
The desynthesis. I can't even talk. I'm doing what you do. You're supposed to make fun of me. The desynth. How do you say that word?
What are you trying to say?
Desensitize.
Okay.
Desensitize.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna stay. Thank you. The fact that EMDR therapy that I'm doing has desensitized me to it's working. Like I could feel it. Yeah. And it's crazy that you can go in there and like kind of march around a memory that is traumatic for you, and in doing so, through a guided walk through it, you can change your perception of that memory. Yeah. It's amazing. Works.
It's neuroscience therapy and stuff that it's
that neuroplasticity deal.
It does work. And then you like the mushroom conversation and stuff, and like
fascinating.
I'm telling if anybody hasn't seen that Netflix mushroom documentary, it's super interesting. But
did you watch Telemarketers yet?
Not yet. Yeah, it's on my list of things.
Did you? It's only one episode out now, right?
Yeah, it comes out on Sundays. So only one episode out now, but by the time this comes out, the second episode will be out.
I still gotta watch the new Hard Knocks. I've been trying to go to sleep earlier because I'm not trying not to drink during the week.
Yeah, it's hard.
And God, you feel so much better. I think I'm done with drinking during the week.
Week drinking is a sneaky beast.
Yeah, like even you have 2 alcoholic drinks, which is fine, well within the limits, and then I notice a difference in my brain and how I feel. And the age, at 41, it just, there's a reason why old Johnny Manziel, like, he could play football hungover. He's 21 years old, 22 years old. Of course he could. He couldn't do that at 40. Just because your brain and your body don't work as well.
It does. It absolutely
Do you think
does
eventually Bert Kreischer's going to fake it?
It's like stop drinking?
Like Ron White does?
I think
Pretends to drink on stage.
I think
that's his party
I think he will because
personality.
he's getting a lot of heat from all of his friends, and he's getting mostly heat from his best friend in Tom Segura. And I see him tweet stuff, like he dances around and he always looks shocked when people call him out for being, not in good shape. And then I saw he put out a tweet, I want to say like 2 days ago, where he's like, any good keto recipes?
Yeah.
Or sort of real, sort of not real, right? And I kind of feel like, he'll get there. Yeah. And then he'll have he's going to sell the redemption story of I changed my ways, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody will buy into it.
Because
I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just saying it'll become part of the bit.
Yeah, because people.
I don't know what his end goal is.
I don't know.
I think
I'm just saying, as he's getting older, like you're saying, you can't.
He's in his 50s.
You can't snap back as you used to.
True.
Now he's got some weird genetics, and some people do, where they could drink an insane amount. And
How old is he?
He's in his 50s.
Canadian
51.
Josh says in the chat room, I think he'll clean up within the next year.
There's this thing, and it's like a genetic thing, that some people, when they drink, they feel more happy, energetic. They never no, but you slur
well, eventually I do.
But these people they never slur, and I've met a lot of Bert Kreischer's one of them.
Yeah, he is one of them.
And they drink
We've drank with him
all day, and they never get blacked out. Oh, and they may
they get blacked out, but you just don't know.
You don't know.
Right.
So their personality doesn't change. They don't the stereotypical.
I get like that. You get like that. I think most people do, right?
Well, yeah, but just the alcohol catches up, and then some people they can. And I think Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura call it. They named it after a baseball player.
Yeah.
But it's some sort of power. But anyway, I think he's got that. But the problem is the alcohol itself, when that quantity, just it takes a toll in your insides, your liver and stuff and then the sugar is the worst part, and that's why you can't lose weight, because you're consuming 80 grams of sugar of pure alcohol.
Maybe more.
And there's no way to get alcohol without the sugar, although like tequila has less, but it still has it. It's like it's inevitable. So I think eventually
EJ says they call it the Mickey Mantle gene.
Mickey Mantle gene. Yeah. I think
known for his drinking.
But hopefully Bert realizes that people like Bert Kreischer for his personality and who he is.
He doesn't need to drink.
So if he stopped drinking, that would just be part of his comedy and his journey that people would follow.
Yeah, I think he knows.
You get scared because you're like, this has been my bit for 20 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He could do the Ron White where he goes on there with a fake whiskey glass,
but I don't think
and pretends like he's drinking.
I don't think that's Bert, because then pretending is not being real, and I think he's about being real to his audience.
He would just. And I think Ron brings his bottle out, but then he'll just hold a non-alcoholic beer and sip on it. So for Bert,
he's open with Ron White is
he's open about
it. But I think he feels comfortable holding a glass because he did it for 25 years.
It's not Bert we have to worry about, and EJ brings up a good point. I think it's a great thing if he decided, we've all had him in here. He's a friend of the show. We love him. If he came in here, we'd be extremely happy to see him again. I think he has to do whatever he has to do to be available to his wife and family, obviously. We all want that, right? Yeah. We want him around and making us laugh until we die, right? So if he does that, that's a great thing.
Health-wise, yeah. Although I assume he's got money.
Will his audience, though, be mad because misery loves company? Alcohol more than anything is the thing that even when I say I'm taking a break, if Sam says, I'm going to take a break, undoubtedly, even if they don't mean it in a negative way, you get a little stick. You know, there's always a little bit like, hey, what are you doing? You know, like that kind of thing. Because
you want to keep it going.
Because you want to keep it going.
Yeah, and you want the people you listen to or relate to be like you.
Also, I like it when people give me an excuse to do the thing that I said I wasn't going to do anymore because it takes some heat off of me making the decision, right? In my mind, I rationalize it by saying, well, they're drinking. I got to drink too because they're here.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
It's like we had Josh Wolf in last week, and we talked to him about him. He quit drinking, but he just, he still alters his state with marijuana and mushrooms, and so. But the alcohol, he just chooses not to have the alcohol, which more and more you start looking at it like, out of all the drugs that do harm to your body, it's
the one that's legal.
Yeah, but
what does that say?
And I'm a
about
beer
us?
guy, though, man. I just love the taste of beer, craft beer. I'm way back in. After I love
you
White
can have
Claws.
some beers every once in a while, or even every day, but it's hard to have the discipline to not go too far. And
especially
then
when
turn 2
they taste
beers
so
into
good.
6 beers.
And they're so fresh and delicious.
And then you're like, oh, I poisoned myself. And I had 800 calories of sugar, or,
Yeah.
So it's like, just going back to everything. You want to enjoy it, have the discipline to enjoy it properly. But
Right.
who has that?
It's
it's
so
a
hard.
battle for life.
You want to pepper in a couple voicemails as we close this out? I mean, I got one. This one, I thought this was funny. It's our buddy Hilton Head BDM, and he called in. I may not have zeroed in on what you think I zeroed in on in this voice message.
Hey guys, Hilton Head BDM. Just sitting here in bed bored. What kind of...
Turn off your fan, man.
I think he's driving with his window down.
No, he said, I'm laying here in bed. Isn't that what he said? I'm laying here in bed? Listen.
Hilton Head laying here in bed.
Hilton Head BDM. Just sitting here in bed bored. What kind of...
Yeah, that's nuts. That's too much
messages do you
wind.
guys like the most? Do you like stories? Do you like questions you've never been asked before? Like, what does each of you prefer to get in an email or a voicemail?
How many fans do you have on you in your bed? Now, this is what, I don't even care about what the voicemail was about.
The background noise in our voicemails are...
It's because the audio quality on the show is better than any other podcast. Do you guys rock fans?
Yes.
When you sleep?
I want both a ceiling fan. I have a mini split in my bedroom. I also have a ceiling fan and a floor fan, but my husband no longer allows me to have the ceiling fan on at night because he says it messes up his sinuses.
God, that sounds like my dad. My dad would not let my mother put on the ceiling fan because it would blow the legs on the hairs on his legs. And he said, Carol, I can't sleep. The goddamn ceiling fan is making the hairs on my leg move and waking me up. True story.
I'm happy with whatever anybody else wants.
Don't care. Here's what I got. We have we've had this fan for a decade now. We have a Dyson fan that oscillates on 10, and then we have an Amazon Alexa that we roll pink noise, level 4.
Brown noise over here.
Brown noise? All right.
Yeah,
1 in the pink, 2 in the brown.
Crystal used to have this loud static playing because her tinnitus would bother her, and I just sit there and take it.
Did it bother
every
you?
night, but she now has stopped doing that. Yeah, it bothered me. But it's loud. Sitting there.
Your life sounds miserable.
But I'll just take it. But
you don't eat what you want.
He sits there and takes
You gotta have static in the middle of the night. Your kids are kicking you in the nuts. You can't get laid. I just don't even know, man. You don't drink during the week anymore.
Well, why do you think I'm so grumpy?
Have some joy in your life, man.
Get this man a hot dog.
At least eat some sugar. My God.
Okay, well, anyway.
To answer this guy's question, though.
I like funny stories. Right?
People are bad at telling stories.
I like
though.
questions.
Except when it comes to Shark Week, and then all of a sudden we have scholars writing in until you get them on the phone, and then they can't tell.
Yeah, Shark Week. We got we got William Shakespeare. We got
Shakespeare.
Chaucer. We got everybody lines up. But I like relationship advice. I like when you let us give you advice on what's going on.
Solve your problems.
Yeah, let us solve your problems. That's probably my favorite.
Here's the perfect voicemail for me. call up. No niceties. I don't want to hear great show, listen for a lot.
Okay. Get to work. Get to business.
Yeah, because it's all
straight to the point.
It's a bunch of fluff that no one cares about.
Jesus,
you know what I'm
this
saying?
guy, real jerk.
I will say though, mention instead of the nicety, mention a sponsor you used because that helps us.
You pulled me back around. Yeah, you're right.
So
do a plug in your voicemail.
Yeah, telling us how awesome we are.
We know you're calling in because you're participating, and we get it that you're participating in the show.
Tell us American Air and Heat just service your air conditioner.
Okay.
And it's, instead of the nicety, that does tenfold to me more than the nicety. Anyway,
Okay, I like that.
So there it is. That's the first part.
It also helps out somebody other than us, and it's okay. We assume that you're listening to the show because you're participating with what we're doing.
And then there's two other voicemails that are like, one being
I'm just like you, Tom.
He hates those. Those are typically emails, though.
One being commenting on prior show subject, right?
Okay.
Even though that
Dowsing rods.
that is it's like, okay, that's in the past, but I like bringing up some sort of new aspect to something we left on a cliffhanger, or commenting about, like, when we have arguments about something or bring up some topic that we're passionate about or some question, and then someone tells us about that. I like that.
Okay.
Because that's adding value to
Tom
the
will
program.
tell you you're wrong, but he does like you to write in about it.
Like this one about buying body wash.
Uh-oh.
Hey everyone, I'm listening to the Coochie Burgers
You got it right.
episode
You got it right.
with the wives in, and I'm listening to the part where Tom and Dan are talking about like buying soap and showering with their wives or whatever, and how Tom can't buy his own soap. And I've come to the realization, or at least have a theory, that Tom got with Crystal while he was a child, and he's been with her ever since. So he never went through that period where he lived on his own, took care of himself, did his own grocery shopping, bought his own soap, which I guess is a thing. And so now he literally has just transferred from one mother to another. And that is why she doesn't want to have sex with him. Because who wants to have sex with their son? I mean,
and she quite literally said that at she quite literally said that at the Meet the Teacher.
Is this guy a doctor? This guy crushed it. I've
been saying this for literal years.
Wow. We just needed a man to say.
I know. I'm familiar.
Have you seen the videos? Lots of people want to have sex with their sons.
Yeah, I know. I've seen
them. The sons want to have sex with them.
God forbid anybody hack my Xvideos account, because you're going to see a lot of the history.
It's both ways. And the videos.
This is the stepmom.
Listen,
and she goes, "It's bigger than your dad's."
Crystal.
They always say that. And you know,
like, don't tell me that.
You're
ruining it.
No. But if they pull down your pants and then they don't say that, I'm gonna be like, eh? And then they're like, and they're like, "Is it bigger than dad's?"
I lived by myself for 1 year of my life.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
I did. Yeah.
1 full year?
Yeah. But I
with no roommates.
No.
Then you did not live by yourself.
With the Grizz.
So you all shared soap and
hold on a second.
Thing.
Have you never lived alone?
No, he's not.
No, never alone.
Okay, so when you were a child, you lived with mom and dad. Dad, we know what happened. Then mom.
Mom and stepdad.
And then I turned 18. I left summer of when I turned 18.
I don't think I ever realized you never lived alone. Andrea's never lived alone.
I moved here to University Club in Orlando with the Grizz and Pudge and a random roommate who wore a trench coat.
Yeah.
And
we know what he's doing now.
And then I lived with them for a year. And in that time, Crystal moved up here chasing me.
Wow, yeah.
Abandoning her whole life for me.
Hey, boy, what that pee-pee do? And you're like, I don't know. It pees.
That's the thing I tell her all the time.
That shit loves that. Throw that in her face.
When she bitches about who I am as a person.
Come to daddy.
I'm just saying, well,
you wanted this.
Yeah,
you should crotch chop. Dude, if Andrea had been chasing me like she was chasing you, every time she would get in my face, I would give her a crotch chop.
Now, she would come over.
Generation X.
So then I moved after that 1 year University Club.
Degeneration.
I moved across the street to a duplex with the Grizz.
That's
And-
closer. That's closer.
And Logic Man Andy was my next door neighbor in a duplex.
This
at the
is
time.
closer. This is the closest you ever got to living alone.
Well, yeah, me and the Grizz lived together. Then the Grizz went to the Air Force.
Were you living alone at all? Like 2 weeks alone?
No, well, okay. When the Grizz left the Air Force because he realized he did a small stint at DeVry,
Oh, yeah, get him.
and then he brought
Get him.
home an electrical board, and then
He's like, oh, what are you gonna make? A ham radio? Get out of here, you nerd.
we made fun of him so much, and then he screamed.
Come in Tokyo.
He screamed, "I don't understand this."
Too stupid to make a radio.
And he's like, I already got a $13,000 loan that I spent half on boarding.
No.
He spent it all on.
And then
He spent it all on a Red Dog beer.
And then he screamed, "I'm going to the army." And then I'm like,
Yeah.
"No!"
That's what dumb guys
And
do.
then
Some dumb guys.
And then he just went to the army,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I need a roommate. Then Porto Joe moved up.
Wait, but was it immediate? Was it like great? Like
2 days I lived.
you've lived alone for 2 days?
And
Wow.
And it was it was one of the days I went.
How'd
to,
you survive?
I went
Were
to
you
college.
like,
No, it's fine. I thought when Crystal makes fun. I was like, if you left me alone, I could figure it out. I rely on people. As soon as someone like starts doing something for me, I am like, oh, you can do that, and I will never do that anymore. You know,
Yeah.
I'll do other
I
things.
do that with Andrea.
But anyway, so the 2 days,
Nightmare.
one day of my life, I never spoke a word. I went.
That's pretty rad.
I've done that.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Well, I know a lot of people have done that. It's a weird thing to
I
have not
don't believe
done more than one day.
I don't believe I've ever done that.
And
I can't. I'm not capable. I'm not capable.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
you
think
talk
you
to
are.
yourself.
I'm
or
not
something, yeah.
capable of doing that. I have to stop myself from saying things to you guys in here. I have to be like, shut up.
Then I moved in with Crystal because and
You
that's-
wanted it, that punani.
well, she was living up here, but we were living apart. But when I moved,
Who'd she live with?
she had a random roommate.
Rando.
I know what that means.
And
Randy, the random roommate. Yeah.
then
Don't do that.
when she moved to Carlton Arms South and
Ooh, South.
South is the rough one.
of OBT,
Ooh.
yeah,
And you were Carlton Arms North, and you guys fell in love.
and then Fernando moved up to go to MMI at the time. And
Motorcycle
was,
Institute?
He was living with her.
Wait a minute, he doesn't do that now. I didn't know he was a motorcycle mechanic too.
No, well, he screamed, "I can't take this anymore."
oh, and then,
Like,
and he's like, I'm not going to the army because the Grizz is there.
Oh, yeah, he got a bunch of dogs and they tore up the apartment and they pooped everywhere. They ate the baseboards.
What?
And
Only the best, the finest canines are the ones that eat your baseboards.
It was like 2 pit bulls. And they just tore
They're
everything
just
up.
animals. They're God's animals.
And
they need love too. They're fine.
so I moved in with them, and I lived.
what were the pit bulls' names?
I didn't even stay with Crystal in her bedroom. I stayed with Fernando. We had
In
2
his bedroom?
Yes,
You're weirdos.
because we weren't boyfriend
Oh,
girlfriend.
Jesus,
really,
what are you,
but-
Ozzy and Harriet? I like as soon as Andrea was like, I come over to
What
Andrea's
it
house.
was
I
he
was
was trying to
21.
keep his options open, but she wasn't letting that happen. That's what
No,
happened.
no. Well,
Oh,
we stayed
damn,
in
that was
separate
a
rooms.
real talk.
We stayed in separate rooms for a while.
Keep that door open
But
for
you hooked
pajama
up.
pants.
Yeah,
At
we'll
your
hook up
at your
all the time.
convenience.
Yeah,
But you're like,
yeah.
we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I just F you when I want to.
You know,
we're all
yeah.
familiar with that.
It
Well, you
is-
got it.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, you do got it. And I got to.
That's all as easy as that.
I got to talk about that for a second. It was better when I could walk into a different room and bang Andrea and then go like, I'm going to go back to my room. And go back to a different room.
The funny thing is I had no options because I didn't talk to anybody or I wasn't, there was no girl.
But you're like, maybe one day a girl will
could've.
come along and
Yeah,
she'll
you
sit
could've.
on my lap.
You could have.
So then we moved from Carlton Arms South into Heroin Alley.
Okay.
the
And that
house
was the
you-
first time you were living together.
But we still had we had 2 separate bedrooms.
He's just in
Jesus,
denial,
you
man.
weirdo.
But that didn't last long. Eventually, we just
She broke you down.
Yeah.
She's
We
hopping
started
on it like a
sleeping together.
pogo
So it
stick.
doesn't sound like you really wanted to be with her. She just kind of broke you down.
Yeah. Well, that's how I describe it.
Bye bye.
Such a great ending.
I think there was nothing else. But
We shouldn't even have said it. We should just ended. Wait, I need an intro for tonight. Might as well do tomorrow too.
Yeah, let me pee after Tom. Oh my god. Where's that go?
Monday 3 and 4.
I gotta edit it, right? Yeah, because he said fucker or what is it?
Fucking.
Jesus, Daniel. What are you doing? What's the date on Monday?
The 21st.
Thank you. was the time on that?
It was around 14 minutes.
I think I had it at 14:55. Jesus Christ. Let's relax. And that's 3 and 4?
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
Rolling out to fucking Tampa again.
Oh, you got another show?
Sickler.
Oh, right. Oh, so it's...
He was
looking
advertising it yesterday on his
great.
social, so
Great.
sounds like it's going to happen.
Awesome. Okay, let me get in the restroom. Oh, you guys thought we were frozen? Sorry about that.
That was for dramatics. Dramatic pause.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the live stream, BDM Ron.
Hey, Ron, what's up, buddy? Oh, you've never been in here? I'm glad you're glad you're here. It's always cool when we get the new people in here. I wish our stream was bigger. We don't really. I'm not the best at promoting the stream. I should. We have a lot of cool streams here in town that probably would enjoy our stream, but I don't talk about it as much as I should.
So,
We're gonna do intros.
okay.
EJ says he's going to call us tomorrow from Pokemon Go Fest.
Okay.
Bum, 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 na, na. You have a meeting today or no? It's not on the calendar, but
No.
okay.
No.
Thought I heard you say you had a meeting.
Are we still on Twitch?
Yes. You want to talk to him?
Sure.
Ask Tom anything. ATA. I'll read your questions because he can't see. You're just going to have a dick pic on that screen.
Oh, yeah.
You should just get rid of it because it's just now taking up space.
I know. I feel like, though, if it mirrored the screen up there, that maybe...
Isn't that what we were doing?
Yeah.
We had the chat up there for you. What year were you in University Club? Jackal wants to know because he was also there.
Oh, 2000 to 2001.
He was there at the same time. So you guys were probably neighbors. Was he your random roommate?
Do you remember the great blackout of...
oh, my God.
Was it November? I can't remember, but some car crash hit the power poles and everything. We lost power, and then people started setting the dumpsters on fire.
My God, what is it, fucking Woodstock 99?
Everybody came out of their house, and then people set all the dumpsters on fire, and then they broke
so we can
down.
so we can see we need a light.
They broke down the.
We got a lot of questions all of a sudden.
Oh, Jackal remembers it. He says he remembers it.
Is a plant moisture meter worth it?
No.
How much will I get paid to run the draft on Sunday from EJ?
What was the pay last year? $50?
Yeah,
No.
$25.
Was it?
Did I
Buy him some Johnnies. Are you guys doing it at Johnny's again?
Where are we doing it? I can't tell you.
Secret location.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Have you done
gnarly
anything?
barley?
Have you done
3:30.
anything for romantic for Crystal lately?
Yes.
I ate that pussy.
I
That's not
got.
romantic.
Oh, okay.
I bought her tulips.
Tulips on these nuts.
No, I bought her flowers yesterday.
The BOGOs at Publix.
Tracy said to do that.
What's Tom's favorite food?
He doesn't have a favorite food. He has a
If
favorite.
he
number.
has to
No,
pick.
okay.
Favorite foods are for babies. He told me one
Submarine
time.
sandwich.
I like a
Submarine
poke
sandwich.
bowl.
Why did you say
Pokeball.
submarines?
No,
I like it.
I like an Italian sub too.
I knew it.
Nailed
I
it.
knew it.
But-
That's a good producer. She said you pulled it out of you.
But
What
na-
is the longest time frame Tom has taken care of the boys completely without Crystal?
She went to London for work. Remember that?
Yeah,
but that
I
was
do remember that.
6.
And you had
years
no
ago.
help?
The nanny was there.
but
the nanny just watches them during the day.
Oh, what did we do Thursday? Sorry.
Thursday, we had Jordan and Tyler from the Wheelhouse. Yeah, we did that for the whole time.
Okay.
I've watched them for 2 days, two full days before.
And Friday.
I'm not joking. My sons aren't that much work at all.
Spencer and Jeff from the Science Center and the Go-To Show in Sanford.
Okay, Sam. If I left my sons over your if I was like, you have to watch my sons for 2 days, and they had iPads and
it's the end of the world
and
at that
screens,
point.
like, I'm not joking. You'd you have to maybe cook them some pizza or
they'd
whatever.
have a question every once in a while.
You know, they
can't find the TV remote.
A bagel, like
sure, but in the off chance that something wild did happen or there was an emergency.
Oh, there would be no. They wouldn't.
What would you do? Would you have a freak out?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is Tom going to Bijan Robinson in the first round if he's there during his fantasy football draft?
No, because Daniel picks before me, and
I'm looking at Bijan.
I've been telling Daniel to take Bijan.
I might just for fun factor.
Because the top 8 are honestly anything
what
can
is
happen.
He floats at 7-8. I think he floats at 7 and 8.
Some are higher. Some people are drafting him earlier than that. So he could definitely.
Do you compare everything and take into consideration? I don't. I have one version of a cheat sheet that I go with, and it's the company I go with, and I go with it every year.
There is an aspect of fantasy football that the nerds don't like, which is that drafting a player that that's on your team that you like watching. Like, even though you could maybe have
statistically,
5% more value, but it's like, but the value is in your enjoyment.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
But that's emotional, and you hate emotional decisions.
He's hacking it.
in.
He's hacking it. Remember, he's changing his ways.
I'm thinking about drafting Tyreek Hill at 4, even though probably Jamar Chase would be a better option. Just because I'm gonna watch more Dolphins games, especially this season, and the value of watching and knowing Tyreek Hill's on my team does increase the watch experience by 5%.
What temperature do you leave your house at?
It's 70 different floors. So where the kitchen is 72, and then where the bedrooms are 70.
Does Tom call parenting his own children babysitting?
Yes.
Well, the parenting is the hard part. It's like, what do you consider parenting? Lessons? Making them do something?
I mean, just, I guess, attending to your children in general?
That's not parenting. That's keeping your kids.
I mean, they're your kids.
Yeah. But it's like cooking them, cooking them food and like playing with them. To me, isn't maybe playing with them. There's value, but isn't as much parenting. Parenting is the hard parts. Is like discipline. Making them do things they don't want to do.
So you don't do that part.
Making them better people.
When was the last time Tom put the bear suit on?
I had a revelation the other day. I only have 2 bear suits left, and they're both in my pool shed. Hot.
What else is in there, man?
Oh,
that's Horde Garage number 2.
It's the Batman. It's the Batman cave.
Pouring out. That's the one. The paint. I remember all the paint.
All the different things that you've stolen from different, like a little piece of clay faces in there. It's like Batman's. You got them 2 hanging up with lights on them.
I thought to myself, I'm like, they're getting bigger and bigger. And one day they're gonna both be able to wear these bear suits.
Don't put them in those things.
And
it's like Batman. It's like the worst version of Batman Beyond, where Batman gets so old. Remember, he sits in front of the computer desk and he's like got the new young kid out doing the crimes, and Batman is now at the computer telling him like, "Don't do that. I told you the suit can't take that much abuse." And the kid's like a hotshot. He's like, "I can do it." And he does it. And then,
that will be child abuse if you do.
This is awesome.
When's the last time Tom cried?
This is Batman Beyond.
I
know that one.
Cried when my brother died.
Yeah, I know that one.
That's the last time?
Yeah.
Not even when your kids were born?
Ask me.
When's the last time you cried?
Last night I cried. I cry every night.
I have also my wires are crossed. Tommy has this too, and my wife thinks I'm a psycho. But then once Tommy has it, now she's like
2 psycho.
No, she won't call her son a psycho, only me. And then when Tommy does shit that I do, I get great pleasure.
Do you point it out silently? Just pointed him.
And then I'm like, who's the psycho now? I was holding Tommy when he was born, like, you know, months after he was born. And then we watched the Lone Survivor that
Yes.
and
Yes.
then the movie about the special forces.
You were
in Afghanistan or
watching.
whatever.
What's the one you're watching?
And then the end of the movie, they show like the real pictures of all the soldiers that died.
Yeah.
And then
You were watching Sounds of Freedom, and you got very emotional.
I do this thing where I'll start laughing hysterically.
Oh, that's a defense mechanism. A lot of people do that.
And
You know who
it'll
else
look
does
like
that?
I'm laughing.
I know two people that do that. The Joker and the
Huh.
Riddler. They both laugh when they should be crying. They see all the
He
dead.
always laughs at people's misery.
They see all the dead on the streets, and they're
All
like,
right, I got one more question for Tom. This one's actually coming from the YouTube chat, and then we're gonna do our intros and go to lunch. Do you think that your father dying early and only having good memories of his has had any impact on you only wanting to do the fun parts of being a dad with your sons? That's a good question.
Oh, you're psychoanalyzing me.
It's a question.
yeah. I mean,
It could.
it could be
have
something
attributed-
to that.
But also, I honestly believe that the pure logic and of it is that you should strive to create as many fun memories with your kids while you have them with you. That seems like a better life, but that's all subjective to everybody. But to me, it seemed like
Better than bad memories, I'll tell you that much.
But also, it's like if I had the option of not doing so many trips and doing all these adventures.
Well, you can make good memories without
of course,
spending tons of money to go places.
Of course, yeah. There's there's the flaws and everything, but I feel compelled to do it because to me it feels like I will be more satisfied and feel more fulfilled at the end of the parenting relationship I'm going to have with my kids if I do this as opposed to not doing it.
Yeah, and everybody's journey is like different. Like mine, I'm not even getting to.
You could be right, man.
I don't even get to execute what I want to do sometimes, you know, like because Maisie is actively choosing her path. So.
All right, let's do our intro.